Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So today we're going to talk about why it's important to read past the headline. Because, man, there's some doozies out there today. Keep seeing these headlines. Democrats block police reform. Senate Dems block GOP police reform bill. All of this stuff. Like, man, that seems odd. That seems really strange. Seems like that might actually be so weird and unbelievable that it may not be true. Because it's not. Okay, for something to count as police reform today, you would have to operate under the assumption that it would take into account, on some level, police accountability activists, the people out there in the streets, all of the things that have been talked about for, the last month. It seems like those things would come into play. They would be addressed by the bill, especially if you were going to package it and market it during this, right? So, this Republican bill that was put forward, it ended or limited qualified immunity, right? False. Established a police database for misconduct? False. Banned no-knock raids? False. Ban chokeholds, at least. I mean, that one's a given. False. It didn't do any of those things because it's not actually about reforming the police. What the bill actually did was it codified reporting no-knock raids. So it's actually an implicit encouragement to continue doing it. It incentivized not using chokeholds, but didn't say you couldn't. And it made lynching a federal hate crime in a police reform bill. That's funny. I don't know who slipped that part in, but that's funny. Just for all of you back the blue people out there, please acknowledge the Republican Party, in order to reform police, wants to stop lynching. Because, I mean, at least that part was honest. Okay, so of course, the Democratic Party in the Senate, they voted against this. They blocked it. Why? Because the people that want reform asked them to, is how that played out. There's another bill coming forward, put forward by Democrats, that does ban chokeholds, does ban no-knock raids in federal drug warrants, and limits qualified immunity. It still doesn't have a police database, though. That needs to be in there. That's super important. But it's not there. I think the easiest way to look at this is you have one bill that is supported by old white guys from Kentucky and another bill that is supported by the NAACP. Which one do you actually think is going to kind of speak to the issues of Black Lives Matter? Yeah, these articles with these headlines, they're utter garbage. The real headline there should be something along the lines of Republicans attempt to mislead constituents, because that's what they're doing. This was not police reform. It's not what it was about. It was about throwing something out there that the cops would get behind to make it seem like they did something because they have no interest in reforming the police. That's not on their agenda. Because most of these senators, well, you can read their quotes. This is something that we're going to have to fix. It's going to have to happen. We might as well do it right. There's no reason to allow a political party to pretend like they fixed it when they didn't. And to be honest, I don't really support the Democratic proposal, because without a database for police misconduct, it's kind of pointless. That needs to be included. That needs to be added. If it's going to have any teeth, that needs to be added. So let's be careful when we're consuming information. about this particular topic, because remember, the establishment in general does not want to reform its enforcement class. It doesn't want to reform the police. It wants them to have as much leeway as possible, so they'll do whatever they're told. So we really need to be careful when we're reading stuff about this and opinions about this. If it doesn't satisfy Black Lives Matter, if it doesn't satisfy the police accountability groups, if it doesn't satisfy those people in the streets, it doesn't satisfy me. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.